All right, so today we are talking about cheating again, of course. So, welcome everybody to the Loving You for Life show. Let's hit it, let's get it. If y'all joined me last, I think it was last week, probably like 2 weeks ago, we had talked about Shatrivia Kennedy's book, Stop Hating Side Chicks, and everything went so well, and we got so many responses. That I said, let's come back and talk about cheating again, but this time the title is Will You Take Back a Cheater? So that's a little bit different. So we're gonna talk about that tonight. Thank you, Dee Dee. Hey Queen. Thanks for joining me. So this cheating topic, man, y'all talk to me too. Y'all got any questions or something, put in there, makes it fun, help me with a little energy. And wait a minute, is my phone saying low battery? Let me look. Let me make sure that's plugged up before we start. I think it is. Push close on there for me. Make sure that's plugged up. Okay, let me get this plugged up. So anyway, everybody, not everybody, but you know how it is. Cheating is just a big topic. Cheating is just something that everybody talking about. It's just that thing that's happening. Everybody's talking about it. It's a big issue. Y'all see a study coming out all the time. I'm looking at the bloggers and it's just constantly happening and going. And so that's why I want to come back and talk about cheating again. I have posted on my page and got some responses on it. And Shatrivia posted on her page and got some responses. And it was a lot. It was a whole lot. Hold up 1 second. We got to get this plugged up. It's right there.
It is.
Push it all the way in.
It is.
Push it all the way in. Let me make sure this right, because I don't want nothing to happen.
You don't want to charge because it is.
Yeah, so they're gonna work on that for me. So anyway, so that's like been the topic for right now. So I just want to talk a little bit about would you take back a cheater? Once again, cheating is like popular, but at the same time, it is so hurtful. So hurtful. It's like I think for women, it's probably like the biggest betrayal ever in life. I don't know how the men feel about it. I said one day I want to do a panel and see how the men feel, talk to the men, let the men talk for themselves, because a woman can't talk for me. It's just that simple. We can assume, we can try to figure it out, but we cannot talk for a man. A man has to talk for themselves. We just on the opposite side looking in to see if we can understand what the male is thinking. But for cheating for a woman, it's like the most hurtful thing in the entire world. So that's really big. That's really big. So that's why I think that it's good to stay in this type of topic. A lot of people don't like talking about it. Everybody gets so emotional about it. The anger and stuff comes out about it, and all that good stuff that happens when you talk about it. It gets so emotional, and there's no need to get angry. But we gotta check and make sure that it's charging. Can you click to make sure that it's charging? Right there. Give us 1 second. Just click at the bottom. Right there. Just make sure it's charging. Click once. Click again. Click again. Click. Alright, so I've double checked everything just to make sure we was cool. We are cool. So back to what I was saying. So we need to dig into the details, I think, and find out more about what's going on. I think it's a great conversation. I think that the more you talk about it, the more you learn about it, the more conviction you will get. I think what hurts us the most when it comes to sin and when it comes to destructive things happening in the privacy of our lust and temptation is that we keep it quiet. And that happens a lot. It happens in the church, it happens outside the church. This privacy suffocating and holding in this private issue, I think it causes people to do it more and more. And I think it allows us to never get healed from it, never to be exposed. But the exposure is definitely happening. You can see that right now. So cheating is really a rough topic, but let's talk about it. Let's deal with it. So I want to break down the you in my title. It says, will you take back a cheater? And then I put that on there in all caps if anybody paid attention. I did that on purpose because it's an individual situation. But if you ask somebody in a group, everybody go rah 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 and screaming out and saying what ain't gonna happen, what is gonna happen. But at the end of the day, it's a personal choice. So will you take back a cheater? It's not about what your mama did, your daddy did, your friends. It's not about nobody else in that type of situation. It's for you, and it's a personal decision, a personal choice. To be in that situation, to figure out what you are going to do. There's no wrong and no right. Let me get that out the way. I cannot tell nobody that the choice that they made is wrong or right. I can tell you that the cheating is wrong, but I can't tell you your decision for taking them back is wrong or right. I just want you to know that there's a consequence in your choices. And it's good for us to know everything that can be involved, all the pros and the cons, before we say yes or no to something. It's very, very important. Now, for other people, they probably don't have to worry about this because they are automatic no. You don't have to worry about that. So we don't got to worry about them tonight. The people that will find out, already got their standards and boundaries in place, they are an automatic no. They're not going. It's over. It's done. Capiche. Over. Those people, you don't need to help them. And they don't probably need the details of the conversation about it because it's a no. It's just no options when that happens. And it's very few people I know like that. I don't know about y'all. Do y'all know some people like that? It's very, very few that I know of that actually stopped immediately before things got worse or before they got deeper into this situation. So let me see what y'all talking about on here. I got a couple people on here. Let me see what y'all talking about. Hey. Let's see. Okay. So D says, taking back a cheater depends on how much love y'all had for each other to begin with. If you was in love, y'all can work it out. For me, no. Wasn't in love, as I learned. You know what, D? I really think that that's actually a good point, because as I talk to other women, they was kind of saying that, you know, if you're not that much in love, if you're not that deep into the relationship, and then, you know, it really doesn't matter to them, that attraction, they don't have that strong bond and that strong connection. From the women that I talk to, it seems like it's easier for them to walk away because it wasn't that deep in the first place. So that is true for a lot of people. Let me see what else somebody said before I go to the next part. Hey. Let's see. Hey, okay. Hey, Veronica. I see you on here. Okay. So yeah, that is a true thing. I know some people is definitely saying that if they not in love, if they not that deep into the person, then it ain't even no big deal for them. They can easily say no to that type of relationship. So I wanted to talk more about too the exposure. I really do believe that I think we've been in this season of exposure. I really think it's been going on for a while. It's just more and more and more. With this telephone, these phones, this computer, this social network, gossipers, this stuff is coming out. You really can't hide your sin like you used to. Ain't no in the closet no more, because somebody gonna pull you out. And I don't know what the intent is, but somebody is going to pull you out. You will be exposed in some kind of way. Now, spiritually, I think that God is helping us expose ourselves, expose our sin. I think that He's allowing a lot of this exposure to happen so we can confess ourselves. It says, if you confess yourself. And if I never do it, I know that He can create a way so that I have to deal with it. And that's been going on a lot too in the church. You can see that as well. I've been watching a lot of bloggers who talk about issues inside of the church, and they are being exposed. So if you're not going to get it together, if you're not going to end it, find a way to deal with it, if you're not going to confess it, if God wants you, He's going to expose it so He can get you. And He will bring you to your knees. Be single like me. Hey, I understand what you're saying. I really do get that. I really, really do. Because to be honest with you, I think that, y'all let me know, I think that's why a lot of people end up into a lot of these betrayal situations, because they don't have enough strength to be alone. So you open yourself up to these different relationships and different people, because you don't want to be alone. Being single, how could you go through this? It's a lot of stuff you won't go through being single. And then you can pace yourself and you can watch the people that's around you and the potential people that's around you and take your time to see if you want to be with that person or not. But if ain't nobody got strength to be single, then you're going to end up jumping into something so quick. So I do understand the single life. I get it. So that's a good one too. So yeah, it's exposure time. Look around you. It's happening everywhere. Exposure. Look at Monique. Monique exposing everything up under the sun. I talked about Nicole Murphy. That's exposure. It's exposure everywhere, from the president, from the top to the bottom, sideways, left, right. It does not matter. God is exposing you. So confess your own self so you can break some of that type of breakdown and earthquake that can be happening in your life. So if don't nobody else got anything to say, let me check real quick. Good one on the be single. I like that. I like it. Let's talk about the main woman. Now, the main woman, I know I talked a little bit about it. Trivia talked a little bit about it. And hey, Queen, I see you on here. From her book. But I don't know if we think about how it feels to be in the shoes of each person. I think sometimes we only think about our shoes that we are in. So I want to talk about the main woman, wife, whatever you like to call her, the wifey, whoever she is. A lot of times people call her dumb. She knew it. She did, she that. But can you think about the impact that it has on this main woman? I'm just going to assume that the main woman, wife, lives in a house and take care of everything, and she has the kids. I'm just going to picture her in that kind of way. However, imagine the turmoil that happens inside in her household. And I don't think that we think about these people enough, because if you got any type of heart and you care about people, it might prevent you from doing certain things. It might, but it's a lot of cold-hearted people out here that just turn their head so they don't have to care, so they don't have to see. And then people who have been hurt a lot will do a lot of hurt, and they don't care who the person is. They don't care about the kids, nobody else. But just telling you the truth, that woman who has been betrayed on, that main woman that has been cheated on, she goes through so many levels of hurt and pain, disgust, embarrassment. I mean, it's just to the next level. Some people even think of suicide because that situation is so dramatic to them. So when that thing is exposed and that wife find out, that woman find out, she is torn apart. Does she deserve it or not? People say sometimes she do deserve it. But I would hate to say that about somebody. I don't want nobody to experience that kind of pain. That's a serious type of pain. You don't want nobody to experience any type of pain. And then you got some people that say that goes with the territory. That's what happens. That's what happens when you deal with somebody that you're dealing with that doesn't care about you, that doesn't protect you. So yeah, that main woman, that wife, goes through many emotional hurts and pains and breakdowns and misery. She is so embarrassed. She is so hurt. She's broken. She don't know what to do with herself. And then she's stuck in a situation where she has to speak on the behalf of what this partner has done to her. And that's another hard thing too, because sometimes women find fault in themselves about what happened, which we should never do, but it do happens. So now she got to represent her household. Now she got to represent her relationship, and people is coming in and asking her questions and what happened and what's this happening. And then she got to be sane enough to make it each day, go to work, still do all her daily work, her daily activities, all her duties got to be completed, all titles got to be completed no matter what her situation is. Nobody is thinking about this woman. This woman is going through a tornado. On top of that, if she has children, how can a woman get hurt? Because you're a woman. When you get hurt, you go down to a woman. This woman that gets hurt by the love of her life, and then she got to still parent. She still got to be there for the kids. She still got to encourage the kids. Don't have a daughter, and you got to look into your daughter's face and say what dad did, or think about how you guys want to go further. It is the most, I can't even find a word for the pain that it causes into the family. Now that's just if you just having a conversation with the kids, but what about the ones who have to leave and tear the family apart? So think about this woman. The woman that gets hurt has to heal. She got to recover. Sometimes it's becoming almost normal. We talked about that and how much exposure is coming out about that. So I was finishing up with the main woman, and I was just talking about some of the things that the main woman go through that I don't think a lot of people think about. And I was talking about her emotional issues that she go through, the financial issues that she can go through, the breaking down of the household, not being able to be the parent that she wants to be because she's dealing with all her pain and hurt and frustration. I talked about that. And I was saying how people on the outside is not even thinking about her because they don't care. And so that's just some of the things. And then she goes through a lot more than that. But that's just some of the things that she go through. So I wanted people to kind of think about how the other person is feeling in their own shoes when tragic is happening. You thinking about yourself and what's going on with you. But everything we do has a trickle-down effect, especially to the people that we love. And it'd be a shame to be hurting two households at the same time because that's kind of like what's going on anyway. So that's our main woman. That's what she deal with. Now this side chick, let's talk about her, or the other woman, I like to call her. Side chick seems a little harsh, but it is what it is. People probably don't care about what she's dealing with. People probably don't care about what's happening in her shoes and how she feel. And you know, a lot of women say that's what she gets. She shouldn't have done this. She shouldn't have done that. Who cares about her? Karma, reap what you sow type things that they say about her. But at the same time, you'll have to go inside of yourself really, really deep to find this passion and compassion for her, because sometimes I don't think we understand what kind of woman that is. Just think about yourself first and take the cheating out of it for a second. And when you think about yourself, when you go to do something wrong, think about how you felt before you chose to do something you knew you had absolutely no business doing, period. Think about that fear. Think about that desire. Think about that thirst. Think about how much your body wanted it. Think about how much mentally you wanted to do it no matter what, because you want to get something that you feel like you deserve, that desperate type feeling. But that's exactly what that other woman is going through. She's going through that feeling, and that temptation and that lust is so strong inside of her, and it was triggered by that man. So I don't think that we think about that a lot. Even if he didn't initiate and she had these feelings and this spirit inside of her, and she really want this dude no matter what, or a dude, because she don't know who it's going to be yet. If that thing is inside of her by herself, it still takes a man to come and trigger that. Somebody has to meet up with her to get that thing done. So I just think about the turmoil that she probably can be going through too. Imagine how you feel. You know, you be excited and stuff that you getting what you want. You happy, you in pleasure, you got the dude and everything. But it's still a price to pay in that. You paying your mind. You mentally paying the price. Sometimes you can't sleep. Sometimes you messed up financially. You can't even get things right in your life because you in this type of situation. And it's got you swaying back and forward, and you hoping that you get them, and you don't know what's going to happen, and you got to keep quiet, but you're so happy. Then you post little stuff on Facebook to try to show your happiness for this piece of relationship that you got. You really can't be yourself. That is a bad situation to be in. And then you want to tell the world, but if you tell the world you can't be with him, and then at the end of the day you left with nothing. You have misery. You feel so bad about yourself at times, because not every woman do feel bad about herself, but sometimes she can feel so bad about herself and then get up and do it again. You ever been in that situation when you know you're doing something you shouldn't be doing, then you give a little space to it, you try to bag back a little bit, and then you get back up and do the same thing again, and that's just driving you crazy. So that is a spiritual issue. That is a mental issue. That is some embarrassing, shameful stuff. And not only that, it's so doggone strong that you cannot stop doing it. It's like you addicted to this situation and you don't even know the outcome. That woman is going through some things too. She might think about the main woman, she might not, but still she is definitely going through something. It ain't all peace over there. So y'all talk to me. She said feelings are not true. You are right about that. You are right about that. Thank you very much, Grace. God bless you. Yeah, you're right about that. Feelings are not true. You know, we mess up the majority of the time because of our feelings, not because of facts. Look how many times we say what we feel. We do what we feel. Those feelings get us in trouble every single time. That's what they're supposed to do. We are supposed to discern between those things on what's real and what's not. And another thing about feelings, which happens a lot in these type of relationships of cheating, it goes away. It don't stay the same. That's that problem. She starts off and she might be happy and joyful and all this other stuff. And then as it keep going, those feelings start changing. So feelings are fickle. It changes from one thing to the other. It's not grounded. It's not steady. There's no longevity in our feelings. So that's a hard situation to be in. And that is true. Thank you all for joining. I see you all. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so Queen said, the main woman has to be careful not to give too much power to her man. I understand what you're saying. That's a hard thing to do too when you're in love, because sometimes love turns into obsession, and that ain't love no more. Yeah, why will she have to sacrifice her power to be in a relationship? That's definitely something to think about. That's why we got to start having these type of conversations with our friends. We got to start having these type of conversations in women's groups. People got to start coming together and talking about this, because you could say something like that to a woman, like, girl, don't give him all your power. She don't know what you're talking about. She don't know. She don't know that the things that she was born with and taught, all those beautiful self-worth things, she don't know that she's giving that to him. She don't know that she brought that down. She don't know that she lowered her standards. A lot of times they don't even know what you're talking about when you say stuff like that. But that is very, very true. If it comes to a point where you have to sacrifice what you know is right just to be with that person, yeah, you're giving up your power. You definitely are. So that's very important. So think about that other woman sometimes, y'all. Y'all have to pray for her. Y'all got to pray for her. Somebody got to find some mercy for her. A lot of times she don't know what the heck she doing no way. You be all out of your mind. You don't know what's going on. So that's just something I want to talk about, because people seem to bash her and everything else. And, you know, we got to help these people. They already out of order, so why keep bashing them? Why keep bringing them down? So let's talk about the man a little bit when it comes to cheating. We moving right along. So y'all got any questions, y'all can start putting it in there. So the man, you know, people don't be caring about the man either. They like, oh, he just this and he just that and he's a this and he's a that and he don't care about nobody. He don't love himself. You know, we come up with all that good stuff. And at the end of the day, it's very, very true. But you have to think about it as well. Everybody knows right from wrong. You really taking a big chance. You're taking a big part of yourself to get into something you know you're not supposed to do. That takes a lot of work to move over to that life. That is a big, big thing. I mean, it's just not done just like this. That thing was in them so long ago before the action happened. And that's another thing I think we missed out on. This thing is in this person way before the action even happened. So they have to build up to this moment. They're building up to this type of action. They're promising their main woman, I'm going to love you forever. We're going to be together forever. I will never cheat on you. I'm going to be faithful to you. And they could be very, very honest. But there's an unsatisfactory, I don't know, there's a part of them that's voided and still desires. And sometimes that part is not talked about. It's not exposed. And if they don't expose it to themselves and get help with it, expose it to their main woman and get help with it, it comes out further down the line. Remember, it's even if you see it, even if you look, that's lust. So it's happening so long ago. And I think that we don't realize how sin grows. And I know I was seeing some people talking too, because when me and Shatrivia, when we did the Stop Hating Side Chicks interview, some people was saying, I don't get all the titles. I don't understand that title and that title. It ain't no titles, it's just sin. Yes, you're right. It's just sin. But sin just don't happen like that. No, It says when it's full grown. Sin goes in stages. Man, your eyes, your thinking, your feelings, your heart, your soul, your spirit, your free will. Then you say yes, then it's a choice. It goes into different stages. And then when it's full grown, it comes to this sin, and then it's death. Some people are not all the way in like you think. Sin is still sin. But that's why some people can be pulled out. That's why some people can be saved before they get too far. Some people can be rescued. Some people can be prayed over and talked out of it. Some people don't go so far as others. Look how far you can go. You know snap, right? You can really go all the way in, but some people touch. Some people don't go all the way inside of the box. Some people just hanging over, tasting and touching it and removing things to see what they can get. And then some of those people that's actually touching it, some of them have a holy conscience and it'll pull them back. They'll have a conviction, like, you know better than that. Some people will go and some people will go all the way in. So it's different stages to sin. So that's something to think about. These titles are real because not everybody's going all the way in. It's just the way it is. So back to that man. And once again, y'all put y'all questions on there and we can talk about those before I close out. But I have a passion for people. I just do. A lot of people don't. But that man, can you imagine his mind? Can you imagine the things that's going on in his mind? He got 2 women, 2 different places, and he's tearing up households. That stuff is trickling down in 2 women's households. He's hurting people to the core. He got women's hearts in his hand. Who that sound like? This is a serious thing that is happening. You don't think that stuff is sometimes coming into his conscience? He's making a very big choice to destroy his own family. So we have to think about that as well. And then the embarrassment, the ego, the pride. And don't let them have a life. If they got some type of life, some type of status, I don't know, people look up to them and people, they mama. They have people, they have an image to portray. And so if all that stuff gets infected, it kills them, it affects them. Not taken away from what these people did, but I'm just saying, these people still have a heart, the heart that pumps, there's still blood in their vein. There's still some type of remorse inside of them. And it's some type of part of them that really hate that some of this stuff happened. So I wanted to talk about each person, letting you guys know, based on what I experienced and based on the people that I know who's been in this situation. Every last one of them had a heart. Every last one of them had a piece of a heart. They, at the end of the day, they care. But it's really affecting others indirectly or directly. So that kind of makes sense. I hope that makes sense to y'all. All right, so let's get to the woman who keeps her man. Let's talk about the woman who keeps her man. Let's talk about her real quick. So, the woman who finds out what's happening, oh, he cheated, everything's exposed, she know everything that's going on. She is the keeper. She the one that keeps him. So many ways. She stays in a relationship with him after she finds out he's cheating, and she tries to make this relationship whole again. He promises that everything is going to be better. But the only thing about this situation is that it takes so much time to heal that there's a lot of friction and conflict sometimes during the healing. And a lot of people talk about her too. Like, he did this, this, and that. You heard this, this, and that. And she still stayed with him. This is that kind of woman that stays because she does not want to tear down her household. She wants to keep it. She wants to keep her relationship. And sometimes people is judging her for being stupid or loving him too much. But at the same time, her reasons for staying can be so much bigger than that man. It can be so much bigger than a relationship, than a marriage. It's so much bigger than that. It can just be that she wants her family to stay together. And some women will sacrifice themselves and sacrifice their own integrity, pride, happiness, and joy to keep that family together. This sometimes is that woman that desires a 2-parent household. A lot of times this woman probably didn't come from a 2-parent household. So this is her fight, is to keep this household together. And sometimes it can be for reasons, like I said, other than the man, because sometimes it don't even be about the man no more. It turns into something else. It can be the finances. She's financially better being in this relationship. You know, 2 is better than 1. They done got a lot of things set. Foundations is set. They grounded. They money is together. They all tied in together. They got a lot of bills that they pay together. They got a home together. They got signatures on the same piece of paper. And sometimes she will stay because of that. That'll be her first priority for staying. Not the man, but because of all the financial assets that we got together. That sometimes is a reason to stay. And then sometimes the woman just want to stay because she don't want to find another man. Some some women just don't want to cancel out this one and find another whole man. They have fear of finding someone who will dedicate themselves to them all over again. I know it's a little cliche because he didn't dedicate no more. But in their head, they'll say, I will stay because I don't want to go out there and find another man. Too much work. This is stuff that we talk to ourselves and tell ourselves. Too much work trying to find another man. I know this man already. I trust him already. I know he's not going to hurt me. I can leave $10 on the dresser. I don't have to worry about this man. He's the father of my children. I don't have to put another man around my kids. So it's different reasons why y'all calling her stupid. You might want to look deeper into the situation or just mind your business, because her reasons for staying sometimes shift into different areas in different ways. And then sometimes they just want to stay so the other woman can't have them. We know all these different reasons, but this is the type of woman that says, I'm staying in this relationship. We're not separating. We're not breaking up. We're going to fight, and we're going to keep things together. It's a lot of pros and cons in that type of situation, though, because if no work has been put in, most likely it's going to go back to the same situation, back to the same spirit, back to the same argument, back to the same disconnect. It's that root got to be pulled up in some kind of way, or you guys just be living and settling and surviving and just going on with the day. So that's the bad part sometimes about when a woman stays. And I think a lot of women was putting on there the trust issues. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of trust issues because a lot of things that goes with healing hasn't happened yet. You're just moving forward. You're never dealing with that type of stuff. D said, man your business. That's what I thought. Yeah, man your business. But you know we can't man our business. It's too juicy. You know drama is juicy. We got to pay attention to that type of stuff. So yeah, some women stay for reasons more than what you may think. They really, really do. It's so many other different components when a woman is thinking about staying. And a lot of times they don't even be thinking about that man no more. They thinking about everything else that connects to that man and their image. They sometimes want to keep their image and be together. So that happens. Now I want to talk about the woman who releases the relationship. This is the woman like I was talking about before, the one that we not dealing with today. That's the woman that pretty much finds out and she lets him go. Done. She finds out everything. She has her evidence. She see it. It's clear. And she is done. She releases this person so they can be who they want to be and who they need to be. She's not worrying about her next relationship. She's not worrying about where her next finances is going to come from. She's not worrying about how the living situation is going to be. She already is confident in herself and moving forward by herself. That's a whole different situation and a whole different type of person inside. That's why I said, you gotta know who you are to make that type of decision on if you will keep that cheater or not. But this type of woman who releases, she releases because everything attached to him, she knows that she can build it again. She knows that she can do it again. She's not concerned about that. She's not in fear. She's not desperate. She's not insecure about who he is and who he's with. She's not even thinking about this other woman. She's making her decisions on herself, based on herself. She understands that things may happen in the family. Things may be torn down. Things may be broken. Things may be separated. But she believes. Read this real quick. This is a good juicy one. Thank you, Queen. You said the woman is the helpmate. Therefore, we have the power and the ball is, it's going so fast. I got to go back and hold it. Let me go back and hold it down. Okay, you said, and we have the power and the ball is in our court. If we have, it keeps moving around. Let me go back to it. Okay, we have the strength and the faith to not allow him to continue abusing her and the family. Easier said than done. Yeah, I just want to stop right there. But you doggone right, easier said than done. That's the thing. We all have the power. And let me tell you something real quick. Pray God this phone don't go out on me. We all have the power. We got the power. Everybody has access to power. Everybody has access to everything. Everything I got, you can have. for the next person and the next person. We all got this access. But that's not the problem. The problem is the choice. Who's choosing to do it? That's why it's all about you as an individual. We all get the power and the tools and the access. It's free. We all are able to do this. We all are able to stand in our authority and keep our power and keep our standards and keep our boundaries. We all have that. That's not the issue. Everybody knows that they can do all things. Everybody knows that they got access to everything. But everybody not choosing it. That's the issue. I'm going to make a choice. She going to make a choice. She going to make a choice. She going to make a choice. Everybody's not choosing that kind of way. And that's why we're talking about this. Because we have to start teaching choice. That's what free will is all about. You have choice. And some people are not taking it. For whatever reason that is. Some people are not taking it. And some take it later. So you can't be so quick to knock somebody off. You can't be so quick to judge somebody and say they're stupid and they're ignorant and they have low self-esteem, got low self-worth. You can't be really quick to say that because in 3 to 5 years something else might change. They might make that choice later. We all take that choice when we feel like it. But yeah, we all got power. All of us got power. All of us got tools. We got the same access to get in. It's written for all of us. To live life more abundantly. That's just enough right there by itself. We all have the power to do that and the choice to do that. But not everybody is doing it. And that's what we got to look at. Why? Why everybody not doing it? And these are some of the reasons why people are not doing it. Because we get so comfortable with our life. And we just want to keep it like that. And we not understanding that God is allowing these things so we can shift into a new life, into a new place. And that's what we don't want to do. We don't want to shift to the next thing. We want to keep the relationship the way it is. And we don't want to shift to make it better. We don't even know that the things that comes up against a relationship, the things that tears down, all those breakdowns that happen, actually makes the person better as an individual or together if they choose to stay together. But we got to allow these things to happen, make these choices so we can get to the new place. But we got so much fear that without this moment, they don't know what they're going to do. That's happening a lot. Think about people that's committing suicide, jumping off bridges and all types of stuff because they don't know what's going to happen the next moment. We have little faith. We can't see that far. And a lot of us can't see that far. But we got to believe a little bit farther. We got to believe that we can be more and do more. And that's up to us on that part. So, yeah, that's all about that releaser right there. That releaser, you say got the receipts. Got the receipts. Well, all right, got the receipts. That's why everybody being exposed. Because we got the receipts. This technology is helping us tear down people's lives, expose them. So yes, we got to tap into our power. It's a choice to use this power. Many are not doing it, but at least we can let people know that you do have the option. It's up to them if they don't. It's up to them if they don't. And many times, some people do it later. So yes, she releases him in the midst of his sins and his trials and tribulation. She washes her hands. She say, have a great day. Have a good life. That is really unconditional love to me. You know that this person is dealing with some things. They need to get it together and they need to get it fixed. All right, last but not least, this is the last part that I'm going to talk about. If anybody got any questions, now is the time. I will be leaving you soon. Let's talk about this. I'm going to answer the question. Will you and you. I'm not talking about y'all. Will you? Just think about that for yourself if you was ever in that situation. Will you take back a cheater? Here is the answer. I'm going to give you the answer. No to the no, 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 and no. The answer is no. And a lot of people sometimes get confused by that. But you have to remember, a cheater is a person. And that person cheats. And not only does that person cheat, that person lies. It's a liar that cheated. So you have to recognize a liar first. It's a liar. And they lie, and then their actions move to the next thing, the next stage. That's what I was trying to tell y'all. It's so many different titles and it's so many different stages until you go all the way in and sell your soul. It's in too deep at that point. But this person, this cheater, is a person who cheats, which is a person who lies. You even can ask yourself, will you keep a liar? Because lying is really the first step before anybody cheats. It's a lot of lies going on. It could be a lot of personal lies when they emotionally don't want to be honest about what's going on inside of them. Mental, it is so many lies. Not speaking up, not saying that I had lust this day. And I'm not talking about to their partner, just to their own God. It's their relationship. It's up to them. But just not getting help with their own problems and feelings inside. That stuff happens first. So the liar becomes a cheater. And they're lying inner and outward. So that's a type of thing that we have to think about. But the answer is no. You will not take back a cheater, because that means that person is still in sin. That means that person still has an issue. They are still tied to it. They have not been healed. They have not changed. They have not been repentant. And people get scared of the word repentant. Okay, change. Because if you don't believe in God and you don't want to do it the Bible way and all that other stuff, change. Can you change? You don't want to be tied to in a covenant, which you really can't be in a covenant, but you can't even try to be in a covenant with a person who's still involved in that situation. It will always be a disconnect. They're far from what's right. They're far from what's pure. So it's going to be hard to be in unity with someone who's not in unity with their own self. So you're never going to take the cheater back. You're going to take back a man. Now, you want to call him just a man, your dude, man of God, whatever you want to call him, but you want to take back someone who is healed and healthy. And that's your responsibility to discern that. It's your responsibility to look and see and watch and wait and be patient to see if that's something you even want to do. I'm not talking about the people who said no from the beginning. They gone. They all spending their own money and they chilling. I'm not talking about the people who would never do this. But I'm talking about women or men who consider being with someone that cheated. You make sure that they don't hold that title no more. You got to make sure that title is removed. And if you're willing to sit around and put yourself into solitude and pray for them, support them through their process of healing, then that's a different story. You're welcome to reconcile. But one thing everybody got to do, and not so much for the person who did the bad to them, one thing everybody got to do is forgive, because that's for us. That's for ourselves. You got to forgive no matter what. Leaving, staying, going, coming back again. Forgiveness is mandatory. If you love yourself, if you care about yourself, if you want a more healthier life, if you want less illness and less sickness and less heartache and pain and less miserable migraines, if you want to be free, you need to forgive, regardless of what the situation is. But it's up to you if you choose to reconcile. But you make sure that that person that you're reconciling with doesn't still hold that title. Make sure they're not a cheater no more. Make sure that this is a person who has changed, repent. Make sure this is a person who went through a process of healing. Make sure they understand what they did. A lot of times we do stuff, we don't even understand the magnitude of what we did. We don't even get it. We don't even understand it. So make sure that person has went through what they need to go through to be whole again. It is very, very possible to change. I don't know if we believe in change no more. Change is real. It can really happen. A lot of people probably don't do it. A lot of people don't put the effort in and be consistent with the process of healing, but you have to know it's possible. So just talking to the woman who is thinking about this type of thing, wondering if she should stay, wondering if she should take him back, wondering if she should even listen to him and give him an opportunity to talk and plead his case again. First things first, you got to deal with that. Until that's removed, there is no covenant. There is no unity. There is no healthiness. That got to be dealt with. So that's the answer for today. It took us 3 lives to get to this point, just for me to tell you, you never take back a cheater. Take back a man or a woman who is healed, who is changed. They may not be fully delivered, because I tell you, even in myself, the things that I have overcome, I still have bad dreams about them. Deliverance sometimes take a little more work, but you make sure they're changed. You make sure they're not touching. You make sure that they have no desire to backslide, no desire to redo that, do that again. You have to make sure they're moving and going towards the up and up, and they're communicating and they're working through their process. Because deliverance, you need a miracle and you need God for that. So it's still going to be some things that happen. It still might be some triggers. It still may be some, like I was saying, it may be some dreams. It may be some frustration. It may still be some guilt from time to time. They still might be shaking their head on the couch. It still may come up in those type of ways. And those are the type of things that you can heal and support each other on together. But at the end of the day, nah, you ain't taken by no cheater. And look, think about how many people that did that. You can hear their story like, man, such and such cheated on such and such. Oh, really? They break up? No, I just saw them yesterday. Because they're back into the groove. They back into life again. So you can't cover up stuff like that. It won't happen. You have to pluck it out. You have to deal with it. And I know that it's hard. You may want to deal with it in private. That's your life. But you got to do the work to make sure it's taken care of. Can it be done while you live together? Yes, it can be. It's very, very challenging, but it can be. It definitely can be done, but you got to make sure you mature for that. Because I know some people that has stayed in a relationship and said that they were going to heal together, but the unforgiveness didn't allow them to. The unforgiveness didn't allow them to. I talked to somebody on the phone a couple of weeks ago, and she was like, yeah, and last year he did this and he did that. I said, okay. And what happened after that? Nothing. I told him that we can be together. Okay, so if you reconcile with somebody 6 months ago, then what are you talking about today? I had to ask her that question. Do you think you took him back too fast? Do you think you took him back before your heart was ready? See, the healing ain't going to happen together if you don't forgive. It's a process. A lot of times you in this situation, you ain't even dealt with your anger yet. Sometimes you don't even show your anger. It be deep down inside of you because you're trying to save face. So trying to act like it don't bother you. So you got to be real with yourself. Are you really able to be together and heal? One upstairs, one down. Keep it real. Do it for real. But you have to work on the forgiveness. And you have to work on yourself first and not the relationship. The relationship been broken. It's some old me time that's needed right now. You got to make sure you are right, how you feel. You got to talk to yourself because you don't feel good. So how you in a situation, 6 p.m. you found out this, in the morning you feeling like crap. You want him to hug you? And I know a lot of times we take those hollow hugs. We really do. We will sit there and take that hollow hug. We will sit there and have that conversation without passion and love, and you looking at them with unforgiveness. So how they going to support you when you can't even look at them? You really got to deal with that. So I've seen a lot of comments up here. I'm starting to run off at my mouth. Let me see what y'all talking about. Let me see. Amen. All right. I'm just glad we made it because it was really hard out here. I didn't know we was going to make it, but we made it. All right. Let me see. Actually, let me see. I might need you to just tell me. Is any questions on there? Is there any questions on there? Okay. Because I can't, just statements? Okay. Because, this thing roll up so slow. I mean, extra slow. Okay. Thank God my husband and I was able to reconcile. Praise God. That's a beautiful thing. That's the type of testimonies that people need to hear sometimes, because reconciliation is, it pulls the deepness out of you. And it's really an example of Christ's love to us too, because a lot of people can't reconcile. A lot of people forgive and they just move on with their life. But to reconcile, that's even deeper. That's even more. That's more of a surrenderance. I mean, my God, that's really a lot. And so that shows how God would reconcile back to us. And that's what he's about to do. So we have to prepare our hearts for that. So we need to make sure we get ourselves together, because God forgives us and he reconciles back to us no matter what we do. And there's nothing wrong if any woman wants to do that. Just make sure you are eyes wide open. Make sure you know exactly what you're doing. Make sure you understand the pros and the cons, and don't fake yourself out thinking you healing and you not, and you really like can't sleep and you got the shakes. So really think about that. But that's exactly what God wants to do with us. He wants us to reconcile to Him. It takes a lot of love. It takes a lot of faith. It takes a lot of trust to make that happen. And as I said before, I know a lot of women were saying no, it's a lot of trust issues. It'll never be the same. You don't want that thing to be the same. You want that thing to be better. You don't want it to be the same. So don't even think about that old relationship. It's a wrap. You ain't even know him. You just found out about him. You didn't even know he had them issues. So it's a whole new thing. It's a whole new place to be. And be careful not to think that you're not able to be reconciled back to God. I'm talking about these people who's causing all this pain and heartache. I want you to know that you can get right back with God. I even posted today something to the point of stop in the midst of your mess and give Him glory. All you got to do is stop. And I ain't even talking about like you ain't even completely healed yet, but just stop in the midst of everything that you're doing and give Him glory. I know a man, that told me this. He said, every time I did something wrong, I read my Bible. Every time I messed up, I read my Bible. I just constantly read my Bible. He said, I would be doing wrong and asking God to help me at the same time. At the same time. And that's powerful because that makes common sense. If you in danger, what else should you be saying? Jesus, right? I can't think of nothing else to say. God, say something. He knew that his sin was like legions. He knew that it was many, many demons in him. He knew how weak that he was, but he still had a voice to be able to pray out like that. And yeah, like you just said, spiritual warfare, and that takes a lot of hard work and consistency to get there. Reconciliation, that's the whole reason Jesus died, so we can be reconciled. That is the truth. So we can be reconciled. That's why I say it's possible. But there's so much work that needs to be done in the process of reconciliation. And it really helps for us to be humble enough to get help and get counsel from people who have been in that situation, who has actually reconciled, or people who can lead us to the reconciliation. That somebody pick you up. It might be a little challenging to do on your own, but we definitely got to face the truth of everything that is happening. Have mercy. Have mercy for these people who are in this situation, because all I got to do is change the title and it could be you. You might not be a cheater. You may be something else. I was reading in the Bible a little bit, not too much, but I was reading the Bible a little bit, just looking into cheating and adultery convictions, you are right, and stuff like that. And all these people that we talk about, this shame that we do to this situation, it is in the Bible. I mean, Jesus deals with all of this. I mean, it's really something for us to read. We be sitting here bringing these people down, calling these people all types of names and all this type of stuff, and we got this disgust and this hate for these type of people who was able to get inside of our family because the man said so. All that type of stuff, Jesus had compassion for them. How you feel? Jesus has compassion for them. I sat there and read the story over and over again about the woman that they was about to stone. She was a side chick. I mean, seriously, think about it. She was an adulterer. She was an adulterer. And they was about to kill her. This was her day of death. And we don't even got no mercy for the side chick. We ain't even thinking about it like that. Like, that's a doggone shame that man pulled on her. We don't talk like that. We don't say that. Because if that man is committed to another woman, he did it. He the puller. He pulled her. And Jesus had so much compassion to the woman that the world hates. The woman that the world talks about. Look at Nicole Murphy. That's a bad looking woman. I'm like, man, she looks amazing. I was looking into her story and her background and what she was going through, and thinking about that big marriage that she had to Eddie Murphy. I just think she was never the same after that. But Jesus has compassion for the people that you try to hate. We got to be careful with that. Yes. And he looked at her. And he looked at the people. And he said to the people, like, ye without sin, cast the first stone. They told Jesus, I'm about to kill her. She is a criminal. You know, it's a criminal. That's a criminal activity. To cheat, to have adultery, that is a criminal activity. She broke the law. And he said, we about to kill her. You like, what y'all finna do? We about to stone her. She a side chick. We about to get her. And he took his finger and started writing in the sand and the dirt on the ground. I don't know what he wrote, but when I read it, I feel like he wrote down what they did. Some kind of way he got their attention, because he went as if they never asked him nothing and began to write in the sand. And when he got through writing, he looked up and everybody was gone. He said to her, who's going to condemn you? Like, where they at? They gone. She said, no one. And he said, not even I. I won't condemn you either. Go in peace. Sin no more. In the midst, I don't know where she just came from. She could be in the, she could have a dirty body right now. You never know what's happening. She was right there in the midst of her sins. And he told her, he had compassion for her and told her, go and sin no more. So stop right in the midst of everything that could be happening in your life, no matter what the situation is. And know that God can still have grace and mercy on you. There is a new beginning for everybody. When this stuff comes out and this exposure happens, let's deal with it. Because all he's trying to do is take you to a new place. But you're going to forgive no matter what. Some going to reconcile, some going to move on. But never forget your lessons that is learned. And that's what we are doing with Loving You for Life. We do counseling. We help people, family, drug addictions, anything you may be going through. We have a testimony for that situation. You dealing with some abuse, verbal abuse, emotional abuse, any type of thing that you do. We have a counseling-based spiritual advisors waiting for you to help you in any situation. So that's just one of the things that we do. We do life insurance. I know y'all been seeing Nugent Life Services everywhere. We've been posting like crazies. And I don't know if y'all get it, but it's for you. The pricing is for you. You need to call and get a quote and make sure that you get some life insurance. If you thinking about investments, you got a little money, you want to know where to put it at. You want to increase, you want to overflow. Then you want to get involved. You want to reach out to us so you can get that overflow that you can get with your name on it. So let us show you how to do things like that and help you with that. And we just thankful. I'm glad we made it to this point. I'm so happy. If anybody is dealing with anything from what I've talked about today, contact me, hit me in the inbox. If anybody want to know more about our business, more about our services, everything is low cost. We doing it for you. It's for the community. This is our way of giving back to you. Anybody need help with reconciliation? You're trying to restore, or you're trying to heal while you're in-house. Whatever that is, we can help you get through that process. And if it's something that we can't help you to, we will get somebody to you to help you. So this is why we're doing this. We are serving back to you. Because if God allowed me to reconcile back to him and allow all of us to reconcile back to him, the least I can do is give. So that's what I'm doing. Every Thursday, I'm coming with something on my heart. If y'all got any ideas and things that y'all want me to come with, I'm going to do it every Thursday if the Lord say the same. And hopefully, my screen will not go out again. Do not worry about that. My son is great with his fingers. He will put something together so we can have a piece and get some of these nuggets so that other people can see that. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is Loving You for Life. That's where all our videos is at. We got the Boys to Men, we got Christ for Teen, we got Woman to Woman. We got everything that you need. We are a whole ministry, and we are not just telling you to believe in God and then telling you you're going to heaven or hell. We're not doing that. We are dealing with all the ABCs of life. We are dealing with all the details that's really preached about, taught about. We want to introduce you on how to have a Christian household based on all the fiery darts that's coming in today. Adultery and cheating, lying, sneaking, all this lust and temptation, how to be a wife, how to be a husband, how to be a man, because we men and women before we anything. So let's just work on being a woman and a man, and then we can get to those other duties, because when we learn how to be ourselves, that stuff is going to trickle over in our family. How to get the things that your children need, the scholarships, everything that happens in life. We didn't been through that, and we want to share all those good things that we learned, and also want to tell you what not to do because we experienced a lot of those things. So, like us, subscribe. Loving You for Life. Our page is here on Facebook. Please subscribe. Thank you for the 1,000 likes that we got thus far, and we love you, and we made it. Did I get everything? New levels, new devils. Amen. I like you. I think I added you as a friend too. Blessings to everyone. Awesome, awesome, awesome. God bless you all. Thank you so much for joining me and having the patience to stay with me. I know it was long suffering, but I am a long suffering type person. I'm ready. I'm done. Okay, bye-bye. Good night. Thank you so much.